The morning the trouble began looked ordinary from the outside. Students poured to the gates of Hawthorne Ridge High School, laughing, complaining, dragging backpacks heavy with books and heavier with expectations. The school prided itself on banners that read unity, progress, and inclusion. They hung in hallways like promises carved in bright ink, reminders of what the institution believed itself to be. For Maya Carter, a 16-year-old honors student with a quiet voice and observant eyes, those banners had always felt like decoration rather than truth. She took her seat in U.S. history, third row by the window, the same place she sat every day. Sunlight streamed in, warming her desk. The lesson that morning focused on the civil rights movement. Names were written neatly on the board. Dates were recited with practiced neutrality. Racism, according to the tone of the room, was something that lived safely in the past. The teacher spoke about progress as if it were complete. Then a student near the back leaned back in his chair and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, honestly, racism doesn't really exist anymore. People just use it as an excuse. A few students laughed. One nodded in agreement. Another muttered, exactly. The teacher paused briefly, then continued speaking, pretending the comment had never been made. Maya's fingers tightened around her pen. Her mind raced, not at textbooks or historical speeches, but at moments that had shaped her daily life. The time a teacher confused her with the only other black girl in her grade. The security guard who stopped her twice in 1 week for a hall pass, but waved her white classmates through without a glance. The counselor who suggested she consider less competitive options when she mentioned her dream college. She raised her hand. The teacher hesitated before calling on her. That's not true, Maya said, her voice trembling at first. Racism didn't disappear. It just changed how it shows up. Saying it's gone ignores what people are still experiencing. The room went silent. The student who made the comment rolled his eyes. Here we go. Another voice chimed in. Why do you always have to make everything about race? Maya swallowed, her heart pounding. Because race is already made about some of us. She said, we don't get to ignore it. The teacher cleared her throat. Let's stay focused on curriculum. This is the curriculum, Maya replied. We're talking about civil rights. That includes now. The bell rang before the teacher could respond. Chairs scraped against the floor as students rushed out, whispering, staring, avoiding her gaze. Maya packed her bag slowly, aware that something had shifted, even if she couldn't yet name it. By lunch, the story had spread. People pointed when she walked past. Some whispered, some laughed. A few looked at her with curiosity, as if she were a spectacle rather than a classmate. She had just sat down at an empty table when her phone buzzed. Report to the principal's office immediately. Her stomach dropped. The walk there felt heavier than usual. The walls, lined with trophies and framed mission statements, felt like they were closing in. The secretary barely looked up as she told Maya to go in. The principal sat stiffly behind his desk. The vice principal stood beside him. A printed report lay between them. Do you know why you're here? The principal asked. Yes, Maya said calmly. Because I spoke in class. You disrupted the learning environment, he replied. I responded to a comment denying racism, Maya said, in a history class about civil rights. The vice principal leaned forward. Several students felt uncomfortable. Maya let out a short laugh. I've been uncomfortable here for years. The principal's jaw tightened. You accuse the school of discriminatory behavior. I spoke about my experiences, she said. Those aren't accusations. They're facts. Silence filled the room. You are suspended for 5 days, the principal finally said, for insubordination and disruption. The words hit her like a blow. Suspended? Maya repeated, effective immediately. Maya left the office numb. Her hands shook as she gathered her things from her locker under the watchful eyes of staff. By the time she stepped outside, it felt as though the school had erased her. At home, her parents were already waiting. They called us, her mother said, worry etched into her face. They said you caused a disturbance. Maya explained everything. The comment, the silence, the punishment. Her father listened quietly, then sighed deeply. I taught you to speak up, he said. But I also taught you that the world doesn't like being challenged. Should I have stayed quiet? Maya asked. No one answered. That night, Maya lay awake staring at the ceiling. Doubt crept in. Maybe she should have ignored the comment. Maybe peace was worth more than truth. But every time she imagined staying silent, her chest tightened. 2 days into her suspension, a classmate posted about the incident online. Students suspended for calling school racist. Thoughts. The post spread quickly. Some comments were cruel. They accused Maya of exaggeration, of playing the victim, of seeking attention. Others defended her, sharing stories that sounded uncomfortably similar. A local activist reshared the post. Then a reporter reached out. Would Maya be willing to speak? The email asked. Her parents were torn. This could follow you forever, her mother warned. But so will silence, Maya replied. The interview aired later that week. Maya spoke carefully, choosing honesty over anger. She talked about subtle racism, about how systems punish those who speak out while protecting comfort over truth. The response was explosive. Messages of support flooded in from students across the country. Teachers admitted they had seen the same patterns. Parents demanded accountability. Then came the backlash. Threatening messages, insults, accusations. Strangers dissected her character without ever knowing her. The school released a statement claiming the suspension had nothing to do with race and everything to do with classroom conduct. Few believed it. The school board called for a meeting. Maya sat between her parents in a room full of officials and lawyers. Polite smiles masked irritation. We regret the misunderstanding, one board member said. Perhaps emotions ran high. What part was a misunderstanding? Maya asked. The woman hesitated. Your tone may have been perceived as confrontational. Speaking the truth often is, Maya replied. After a brief discussion, the board offered to remove the suspension from her record on the condition that she avoid sensitive topics in class. Maya stood. You want peace without justice, she said. That's not peace. They left without agreeing. When Maya returned to school, the atmosphere had changed. Some students avoided her. Others quietly thanked her. A few teachers seemed uneasy, unsure how to act around her. A new student group formed. Conversations began happening where silence once lived. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't enough. But it was something. One afternoon, a younger student approached Maya in the hallway. I didn't know we were allowed to talk about this, she said softly. Maya smiled. Sometimes we're not, she replied. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't. They suspended her for speaking against racism, hoping to make her an example. Instead, she became a voice. And once a truth is spoken out loud, it refuses to disappear.